Hey guys, doing my midterm project. This is a new, interesting way to do assignments and projects. So let's say that. Well, let's get into it. The topic I chose, I didn't really have a group. I kind of with the whole situation, being an athlete, didn't have a whole lot of time to find a group. Go through the checklist of groups. So I just went individual, and I went over the topic of doctors. And the reason I chose this topic was I have a lot of questions. I'm not a huge person who loves the idea of doctors. I think they push some certain agendas for a government's purpose to make money and things like that. So it's almost like a conspiracy theory for me. But yeah, I mean, for doctors, I just don't love everything. I don't think they do everything they can to help their patients. I think the nurses do more of the work, and I think nurses honestly should be paid more than doctors, because unless you are a surgeon, you're not really doing a whole lot of work. Doctors literally just kind of do checkups. Nurses write prescriptions, do the dirty work of what doctors get glorified for. And for this timing, unfortunately, we were supposed to interview 10 people. I was only able to interview 7 of them. All these doctors I interviewed, I know at the country club I belong to. I play golf with them on a regular basis. I have a very good relationship with these doctors. So some of these questions are a little deeper. They're a little deeper. They're hard-hitting questions that some doctors may find offensive. But I knew these people in my life wouldn't find it offensive. They would give me honest and truthful answers. And that's the whole goal of this. So the first question I asked is, why did you want to become a doctor? All 5 of the 7 doctors I interviewed, the first 5 were all like, I wanted to make a difference in people's life. I have always had a passion for helping people, and they found that very important. 2 of them, with the same, I want to help people, they also said they felt pressured from outside people in their lives, like parents. Parents have a very forceful presence in our life, and they can really determine where you go in life, I find. And so I found that very interesting. Is 7 out of 7 doctors, 5 of them wanted to help, but 2 of them were very honest and said, I felt pressure from other sources. I didn't necessarily want this for my life, but I'm happy where I ended up. And then the second question I asked what about being a doctor makes you want to wake up? They all answered, I love the idea of helping people, and I want to change people's quality of life. And that was a very respectful answer, I found. And they all said families living longer to spend time with families, a beautiful thing, and they're able to do that every day they see a patient. Where'd it go? Going into more of the medicine side of things, I asked, do you believe you have all the answers as to health? And all of them, they said, I don't have all the answers. I believe what we do can help people's life. But at the end of the day, different medications, different treatments we prescribe, we tell them to do, it's all kind of a guessing game. Everybody reacts differently. And none of this is a for sure thing. And there's reasons why there's 6 or 7 different types of prescription for the same issue. So we can bounce prescriptions to see what immune system reacts perfectly to it. And that's the hard part about our choices. Some of the medicines we do, they said, change not for the better, but for the worse until we can find the right prescription for that person. And then I asked, what's the hardest part about the job? The part of the job you dread the most? And they all agreed, a lot of times you have to tell your patients bad news. And it's heartbreaking to see the reactions, because we're all young and healthy. A lot of us don't have that negative issues yet in our lives. Some of us do, some of us understand what they're talking about, but I could totally see that telling a patient that they only have certain times to live, or they have a certain disease they can't get taken care of, would be very heartbreaking to watch. I asked another very, very difficult question. I asked, do you believe that the body was meant to heal itself, or for you as a doctor to interfere with modern medicine to try and heal people quicker? And actually, all of the doctors agreed that technically, if it's just a common cold, the flu, just your everyday kind of run-of-the-mill sicknesses, our bodies were totally meant to heal itself. Some cases not so much, depending on your pre-causes, I guess, your sickness, your diseases and things you have before this. But they all agreed that our bodies are meant to take care of itself. But the issue is, you may be down for 4 to 7 days, and in our busy lives, we don't have that ability to be down for 5, 6, 7 days. We want to be going, and that's why we have Dayquil and NyQuil, and that so we can continue our busy lives in a day and we feel less crappy. So I only went over some of the harder questions, but I found that most doctors want to help people. They know it's just it's kind of a guessing game for them. They care about the health of their patients. They care about what they do. They're not just in here for a money or a political gain or something like along that line. Kind of what I was thinking. Like, doctors don't always have the right answers, but after talking to these guys, a lot of these guys will admit they don't have all the answers. They try their best to give the best quality of life to their patient, and it's just a running the circle kind of thing. You're gonna fix something, another thing's gonna happen. And I appreciated their honesty, because I think before I did all this research, I thought doctors were just gonna, prescribe something about the symptoms I had and, kind of just go, you're on your way. In the presentation, I have all the questions, the 10 questions I asked, and their replies in the summarized place. So feel free to read through it. I was actually very interested on all their responses and how truthful they were, and I have a bigger trust for doctors now because of it.